All right, men, strap in.
All right, everyone.
Want to paint the walls?
Everyone else straps in, and let's see how this goes as the vehicle enters the atmosphere. It's not good.
I don't think you roll very well.
I never do. It's half the fun of being the GM.
Every time you've rolled for something, it's always 90 and above.
Look, there's a reason I run games and don't play them. As a player, 93 is terrible. As a GM, it's delightful.
Oh yeah,
it's opportunity.
So
how does our ship blow up?
So as you guys are coming in, you hear some additional chatter. You hear some shouting as no one was informed that you're supposed to be bolted down during the re-entry. And despite this massive craft being relatively stable and just a titan of technology, it starts to lurch to the side. And you just hear people going, shit! As they just go sliding down the halls, bouncing off the corridors. As you guys finally
we're the only ones who've done it.
Yeah, you're the only ones. The sergeant only told you guys to buckle in. You guys watch briefly as your lieutenant goes sliding past.
I'll salute him on the way.
But yeah, for the most, other than that, it manages to reset itself, and then you hear it go, and then there's a massive collision as everything just shakes for several minutes, and all of the power cuts out.
Somewhere in the silence, I say, the best way to get a promotion is to survive.
Congratulations, Lieutenant Laszlo. No,
field promotion coming here.
Well, field promotion has to be given by somebody, so somebody else has to survive. Who needs?
He's got a light bump on his head and a lasgun wound in his chest. I think he died on re-entry.
As you guys manage to make your way out, you realize that you are almost on top of the forward operating base that you're supposed to be assigned to. So the good news is it is a very short walk. The bad news is everyone at the gate is just sort of like looking up at you guys, like as what is effectively like two stadiums stacked on top of each other, but much wider. Just whap falls out of the sky. You can actually see all of their uniforms are just coated in dust and mud. You can see they're quickly pushing a flag back up as it's been knocked over from the shockwave of this thing impacting. But as the gates drop open, you guys step out of your barracks, and you just notice everyone is in shambles. You are the only squad that wasn't knocked about.
I can't wait for half of us to fail standing in parade formation again.
Literally gonna walk over people lying down on the ground going, excuse me, coming through, got somewhere I gotta be.
You see the lieutenant is like, he's like holding his head. He's actually pretty bloodied. He goes, medic! Medic!
I feel like I had to walk past him and say, that's a fact, Jack.
I don't think any of us have Medicaid skills, do we? That was an option I could have chose, and I didn't.
Yeah, I could have taken
that.
I could have taken that mechadendron.
I'll run up and offer him a sandwich.
He looks at the sandwich. He says, "Thank you." He puts it to his head wound. Like,
It's got to be useful for something, right?
And he's like, what? What is this?
And we're already out of there. No,
and you guys,
no answers, just confusion.
You march out, Sergeant. You realize that you're supposed to have an appointment here at the front of the parade grounds.
Yeah, and it would of course have told Varro about it. Either like in transit at least.
Yeah. So I'm prepared. I'm ready. I'm not injured, so I'm just going out there, and I got Laszlo with me.
As the doors open up, the other companies are mostly ready to go. However, your company is just staggering out in disarray as everybody tries to get their kit, get their uniform straightened, get their broken bones splinted. You just see the medic, who's like this short little blonde female, just bouncing back and forth, just like, yeah, no, I got it, yeah, okay, yeah, no, well, don't push the bone back in. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? No, you wait. I'm over here now. Just running back and forth, trying to treat everybody. You see, she runs up to the lieutenant and is like, "Why is there a sandwich on your head wound, Lieutenant?" He continues to discuss certain things. He tries to say, like, this is what they taught me, and this is what they taught me at OCS. Bread is very absorbent. It's very absorbent. She goes, well, I guess you don't need bandages then. And then continues to move on. Eventually, you guys are the first ones out, and you see Captain DeWare looks over at you, Sergeant Laszlo, and goes, "Sergeant Laszlo, correct?"
That is correct. He will salute.
He offers a very sloppy salute back, and he goes, "If only the rest of your platoon could be so well put together. I'm going to keep that in mind. In the meantime, if you would be so kind as to orient the rest of our command, take over for the lieutenant. I understand he suffered a nasty head wound. If you could get everyone marching directly to the barracks, we have control of the forward operational base." And he points out to some of the other captains as they march their companies over to the other fobs. You realize that you are in this stretch of land. There's trees. It looks like it used to be a forest. All the trees have been stripped of their leaves. Most of them have been cut down or completely uprooted. And as you just look out, it's just mud and rain, as a steady drizzle of rain just completely softens the ground and stains your uniforms. And as you get ready, Sergeant Laszlo, you've been assigned by your company commander to get your platoon in order, since the lieutenant is no longer available. So, if you would be so kind, roll me a command check. You don't have any penalties, but you don't have any bonuses.
And I heard talk of some sort of fate point type thing.
Yes, if you'd like, you can use a fate point to get a +10, or you can use it after you roll to add a degree of success.
Where are they listed on the sheet? So I know where to put it. And I'm going to put a 0 there because I'm using the one I have. But yeah.
Well, you can keep it as 1, just so you only get rid of it if you burn it. And you only really burn it if you die. So
I'll just put threshold 1, current 0.
yep, there you go. And give that roll with a +10 because of your fate point.
No worries. It's just your entire career depends on this. Your entire career.
Yep.
So
all 10 minutes of it.
So you start barking out commands, and everybody looks at you, but nobody realizes that you were just assigned command by the Captain DeWare.
Isn't that the guy
So as you start
out on a parade ground?
She may as well take the reroll.
Well, he already used the fate point.
He used the fate point to gain a +10. So he loses the opportunity to do the reroll. And as you attempt to command this, it takes you guys forever to fall into formation. Eventually, you just go out to the other sergeants and you explain the situation, and as they look around and don't see the lieutenant, the fact that, if you're telling the truth, they have to follow you, and if they don't, they'll probably be executed or flogged. But if you're lying, they can just blame it all on you, and you'll get executed or flogged. So really, it's a win-win in their situation. It takes you a while, but you do organize them, and as you send them around, you realize, as you look at that fancy chrono in your pocket, that you are running late for Private Raygun's meeting, I guess you could say.
Here's a quick solution. I'm going to punch you in the face with my metal arm, and you're going to get a head wound, and you're going to have to pass your authority onto somebody else so that they can possibly get flogged or executed.
It's the perfect plan.
It worked for the person ahead of you. It'll work for you.
Doing some delegation, finding the next most qualified member of this platoon, and have them take charge. We're pretty much on leisure time right now, I guess. There's no fight going on.
Well, except for the thing that Raygun is late for, yeah. If we don't account for
there, he's not.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I want to try to delegate somebody to do the job I'm doing now, so I can go do what I'm supposed to do.
Which is the job you're doing now.
I'm waiting for something though.
Yeah, but you're also in charge of this thing right here.
So effectively, you have two situations where if you don't accomplish both, you could be summary executed.
You better figure out bilocation real quick.
And I'm just gonna, like I said, try and take the most deserving of the platoon members and have them take over for me while I'm gone doing this thing, and then I'll come back and complete my work with them.
Sure. Effectively, the people you know, you can't really assign leadership to the tech priest, as they are effectively ancillary to a unit.
Immune.
Yeah, you do know, however, that there is a private Jort. He seems fairly competent.
You've avoided eating his food this whole time.
Shit
I'll do it
stains.
for you, Sarge.
There's also another person who fancies himself a cook, Private York, a sort of wiry young man. You had seen Jordan and he talking previously.
Well, that's good because what did I name him? Braun, my best friend, he's also fancies himself a cook.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, let's let the private try and maybe show us why he might be worth a promotion later, and I'll go take care of my meeting.
We'll just call you the short order lads. Be fun. So yeah, you're gonna give it to Private York or to Private Jort?
Private York.
Oh, you couldn't remember which one was a player, could you?
No, I couldn't. Sorry, I would have rather have given it to the player, of course.
I was waiting
All
for you
right.
to give it to Private Braun. Just nepotism all the way.
There you go.
I'm bad at remembering names, and especially in a brand new game like this.
I
Fine.
know. I just look for
No,
things
you're
to make
good.
fun of all the time.
We
that's
we
all.
have very similar names, so
4 letters, yeah.
But yes, you assign it to Private York. He does not do a. Well, let's find out. I doubt he's going to do particularly well. Oh, he just. Yeah, Private York goes. Private York goes. What? Yeah, no. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. What was it? Right, you maggots, fall in. And everybody's like, huh? And they sort of fall in. Left face. Forward. March. Left. And he can't remember what comes after left, so he just keeps saying left over and over again as he marches the formation around to the new area.
But to be fair, people are both listening to him, and he's doing a good job.
Yeah, he only says left when his left foot hits the ground, so they stay in cadence. And you see the rest of the unit are sort of like glancing over at this diminutive, wiry little guy, barking out commands.
You've created an omelette au fromage situation. He knows the one thing, and he's getting like promoted out of it.
I'll elbow him a little bit, and I'm like, "Hey, you probably need some of this," and I hold out his hand and squirt some of the lube in his hand.
Yes.
You never know when
Right.
it's coming handy.
He goes, "It's in my handy right now." He goes, "Thanks," and he slicks his hair back, right? He's like,
Oh, thank you.
And then his head starts melting. You're like, oh, I put that in the burgers.
Is it supposed to burn? Is it supposed to burn like this? It burns very much. It's like tingly at
Yeah.
first, but then just incredibly painful all the time.
That's just how you know it's working. Don't worry.
Is my hair supposed to be falling out while this happens?
Well, you might need to see a doctor. You might have some of them cancers.
In the background, you hear someone go, "Mother!" But as they march around, you guys notice on the map that as you walk through, there is a sort of large troop transport at the front of the camp.
Mhm.
However, you also notice the back end of another like pair of transports is completely crushed and flattened underneath the lander. It looks like you guys had more vehicles before the landing craft went so awry.
Not our fault.
Whatever mechanized unit you may have had is severely under-equipped at this point.
Oh dear.
Meanwhile, you guys glance over. You notice a massive artillery section with a gun known as a basilisk, pointing towards the front. You take note not to be walking along this barricade while it's being fired. You also notice signs for the medic tent immediately to the north, as well as the cafeteria. And as you glance over, you see a set of 4 sentinel walkers, completely up-armored, completely enclosed cabin, with a pair of ratlings, smoking low sticks, just looking at you and just new arrivals with... You feel like it's contempt, but it's hard to tell with their ridiculous mustaches. And as you walk around, you do see additional large, sort of oversized mortar pits. You see the officers' quarters, the officers' lounge, and then finally you see your own barracks here in the back. Top right for the 4. But
All right.
as this is going on, Varro, you don't fall into formation, neither does the sergeant, because as you walk out, you're approached by Commissar Hartley. He goes,
Let's do the commissar.
he snaps you a salute. He goes, I was to understand that the lieutenant was going to be here as well. I hope everything is all right. Is Lieutenant Harper still among us, or did he run afoul of the landing?
He is still with us, yes. We're like out of character, so I can be abreast of the situation. Where is he?
He hit his head and is undergoing concussion right now
Yes,
with a burger.
He took a head wound in the landing and is at the Medicarium right now. What do you call it? Out of character. What do you call that?
He's seeing the Medicaid, I suppose.
Medicaid.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So there's that. The Medicaid. So the commissar nods his head and goes, that's unfortunate. What is about to transpire should have an officer here to witness it, but you are the non-commissioned officer in charge of this individual, correct? If I recall? Very well.
Yeah.
And you see he takes his bolt pistol out and he checks it. And he goes, I'm under... You recall earlier during Lord General Matisse's speech to the congregation and to our regiment that Private Raygun fell out of formation.
Yes, he had locked his legs.
Yeah, rookie mistake, I understand.
Yes. I caught myself doing it and I tripped as well.
I hadn't noticed that, actually. I assumed that the reason you were on the ground was because you were trying to wake up your private, your
Yes.
subordinate.
I was trying to get him back on his feet and I fell over my own.
Yeah, that is awkward. And
We made
unfortunate.
mistakes, and best
Yeah,
we can
this is...
make up for them.
I understand. I have been in the Guard for over 15 years now. I've seen 2 theaters. Accidents happen. It's nothing to be concerned about. It's an unfortunate consequence of us failing to meet up to the perfect standards of the God Emperor himself. We are only men. But many other men saw that the unfortunate Private Raygon did fall out. And if he doesn't have any kind of punishment, it is bad for morale. The Kriegers, they are very strict. And as a result, we must also be strict as we attempt to live up to their new guidelines. Is that not correct? Would you disagree, Sergeant?
I agree wholeheartedly, sir.
I've got the mask on, but I'm just looking over at Laszlo now.
So, take your masks off, both of you. I would like to look you in the eye, man to man.
Right.
Takes off his mask.
You're so young. That's good. That is good.
Oh, the sergeant's 40.
Well,
So
you know,
young,
the mask,
so young.
Yeah, the mask takes years off of you. You don't look a day past 39. But he goes, so what I'm going to need to do is, you see this pole over here, and he points to this large sort of like pole that's been erected off to the side of the parade ground. And it looks like it's used for pull-ups, partially, some of the time. However, you notice there's some notches cut out into it. And he goes, Private Reagan, do you trust your sergeant?
And I'll like look over to Laszlo, who literally, when I did it, was trying to push it from me to himself. And I'm just going, yes, I definitely trust Laszlo.
He goes, it speaks highly from you. Sergeant Laszlo, who would you say is most at fault for Private Reagan's transgression?
Mine for not teaching him the proper way to stand.
So then, it would be wrong for me to punish Private Reagan. After all, he's only a reflection of his command, is he not?
Yes.
In that case, and he reaches into his sort of belt and he pulls out this long sort of like whip, and he hands it to Private Reagan. And he goes, in that case, I don't like to dirty myself with corporal punishments, unless I absolutely have to. So if you would be so kind, Sergeant, as you are an officer, non-commissioned as you are, although you are, you have an option. You can be tied to the post, or you can stand before it. We have assembled as many men as we can to stand witness to this, so that you can be a example to the rest, not only to the NCO Corps, but to the privates, that military justice is enacted regardless of the rank. We follow all of the standards of the law of war.
Discipline requires that I take my place at the post.
There are many others who would disagree. Personally, I think that this is admirable of you. And he hands you this little piece of what appears to be like almost like hickory wood wrapped in leather. And he goes, you might want this. Try and put on a good show for the men.
I will do my best.
And he has you take your uniform off, and oh my god, that is the best gift. As
the assless chaps.
Private Raygun, you don the ceremonial assless chaps. No, as you get it, and
all right, tears well in my eyes. I gotta do this. Laszlo has chosen his place instead of me.
all right, he goes. According to the Uniform Code of Military Justice, 3 lashes should be all that it takes. However, if you would like, it's 3 to 10. Sergeant, since you have been so forthright, how many lashes do you think is deserving of your transgression?
Out of character, 3 to 10 means.
Meaning in
from
the
3 to
uniform.
10?
No, in the uniform code, it's sort of like when there's a firing squad, right? You are required to have 6 loaded rifles. You could have 10 loaded rifles, or 6 loaded rifles and 4 blanks. It's up to you. So the minimum for this is 3, but you could elect to go all the way up to 10 if you wanted.
Come on, Johnny Rico.
Yeah, he's going to be the tough guy here. For being so derelict in my duty, I deserve 10 lashes.
Put the cork in your mouth.
And yeah, I'll put the leather wrapped wood in there.
Here,
and,
bite down on this. It helps.
Couldn't be a finer Krieg right there. Punish me as much as possible.
Yeah, as you put it in your mouth, I'm going to give you a 10-point bonus to your toughness test, as you are lashed 5 times. What's your strength modifier there, Private Ray Gun?
Oh, it is not great. Convenient, isn't it?
It's very
I have
convenient.
a 29 strength, so I believe the modifier would be 2, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so roll me 1d5 plus 2.
All right, let's do it. And we get 7 maximum. Oh, look at that.
All right. So that first lash hits you for 7 points. I believe. What's your toughness score? 40.
Yeah.
So you take 3 points of damage from that first lash. Roll me toughness with your +10. Cool. This first one hits you, and it cuts deep.
Have you
Your
succeeded
leg
a single roll?
buckle.
I don't think so.
Keep in mind that if you fail 3 times the toughness test, you're gonna collapse.
Again.
So roll me another
much?
1d5 +2.
Let's do it.
How much damage was that off my wounds?
3.
What's that?
You said 3
That's
damage?
3. Yep.
Mhm.
3 damage.
All right. Here comes number 2.
6.
6.
Take 2 points of damage. Roll me that toughness. As you hit again.
Do I still get that +10 bonus?
You do. You will for all of these. Oh,
That was really bad.
oh no.
That's
All
my
right, roll me-
commander.
Roll me 1 more damage.
Oh gosh, not holding back at all.
Oh,
Yeah, you see the
you
you see
wanted
the
to do
commissar.
this.
You see the commissar just sitting there nodding his head like, yeah, that's a good one. Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Now remember,
And
the
it-
last thing that we heard the lieutenant say was that he wanted to go all the way to 10.
Yeah, that's
And
what
then
he
he's
said.
going to
I
just
heard.
completely fall out.
Yeah, it's the Johnny Rico scene where we fade to black as the thing falls out of your mouth and you just go limp.
Yep. All right. So roll me another one. You see a couple more commissars are showing up as all the NCOs are like rooting for you. Like you can see them all watching intently. Like you can do it.
Oh no.
You can do it.
Uh-oh.
They're-
Ray gun, don't turn around. They're commissars down.
Never
You-
turning around, not showing my face.
Ouch.
There's like 2 other commissars now as they're all watching this, and he goes, "Wait, so he's like not pulling his punches at all? Then? Yeah, no, he's going like full out. Like the skinny arm, he's hitting him so hard. Like I thought I was going to have to threaten him. He's hitting him so hard.
I pulled out the gun and he's doing it anyway.
Yeah, the gun is still in the holster. Look, it's not even cocked."
I just suggested that they had to do it and they did it. I can't believe it.
Like I'll be honest, I thought he was going to pull his punches. I thought he would take it easy on the guy, but he's going so hard. He might kill him. He might not live through this.
Oh, let's see if I murder him. He's got 2 more, right?
I mean, so far he's taken 8 damage from this.
Yep. Meanwhile, all the other NCOs are like sitting there watching you, and they're gonna try to inspire you on your next toughness test.
Of course, it doesn't do damage this time.
I mean,
Yes,
not
this
to
one-
just try to avoid killing him here. Didn't you say he would pass out if he failed 3 in a row?
That's correct.
So isn't
Thus-
he? And he wasn't tied up. He was just standing there. So wouldn't he just hit the ground?
Yeah, and even with the bonus, he has fallen to the ground after surviving his 3 lashes.
Yeah. So is
you
Ray Gun
see-
gonna whip a man that's on the ground?
Well, clearly
Well,
this
actually-
one's ineffective.
7, and then the other's a fail, then the other one's a fail. So yeah, this one hits, and like it hits him, and he doesn't even feel it anymore, as he's already just sort of like gone numb as he's fallen down. He's like collapsed onto the ground. Everyone's just sort of like waiting for him to stand back up. You know, if you pass out now, technically you've made the 3. You could try and push it.
And would that be a new toughness roll to try to get myself back up, or was that more like a willpower kind of thing?
It is your call. Either way, you have a +10 to the roll from the other NCOs watching you.
Okay, well, willpower
Yeah, then you get to
is
take the 4th one.
actually it's 6 points worse, but it seems more like my thing because I have not proved my toughness over this course here.
Yeah. You
Right.
said you wanted to go for a full 10, and you passed out at 3. You're like the New York guy that goes down to Texas and jumps on the rodeo bull.
He's like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna go for 3 whole minutes. Ah! All right, Laszlo. As everybody watches, you're bloodied and broken back. You grab the pole and you pull yourself back up to standing.
All right, and then he takes the 4th one, which will not do damage this time.
It hits, and you've chosen the eyes of one of the. You can choose who to look at. You can look at the other sergeants. You can look at one of your officers that are watching. You can't look at the commissars because they're behind you.
Mhm.
Or you can look at the priests. Those are your options.
He's going to take strength from his fellows.
All right. There you go. As you get a lashing, you don't even feel it, and you can see them just all like nodding their heads. Roll another damage there,
Oh,
Mr.
here comes
Raygun.
number 5. Now I'm just whipping out.
It
Now
hits
you're taking
again.
mercy on me.
It hits again, and like Sergeant Laszlo, like you feel the impact, but it's almost like your nerves have been damaged pretty badly by this, as it all just sort of you're just in pain. This is no longer a matter of your body withstanding it. It's just your willpower is not letting you give up. Roll again. You don't have to roll.
6.
Round 6.
And we got 5 now.
It's 1 damage.
You take
Feels it.
1 point of damage. Take 1 point of damage. Roll toughness plus 10. You gotta pass eventually, bro. There's like a 50%
it's literally,
chances.
50-50 chance. You just
Oh god.
don't have
It's
the
our luck.
odds.
Every 50-50 chance.
Well, he's got a 40-something toughness. It's plus 10. It's 50 skill, which means it's literally 50-50.
And I've
Mhm.
rolled a failure every single
Single time.
I don't think this guy should be our commander. I'm just going to throw it out there.
As you
Luck is not on his
collapse-
side.
As you collapse to the ground again. You can try to keep going, roll that willpower to get back on your feet, but it's up to you.
All right.
Just stay down, bro.
No, get back up.
Yeah, he's going balls to the wall here.
It's any opening scene from like Hajime no Ippo. Just smash your hands on the mat. Get back up.
No.
Nope, he's done. Looks like.
Well, you got
6,
to
though.
6. Yeah, 6 out of 7, right? You said 3 to 7, or was it 3 to 10?
3 to 10.
Oh yeah, it's 3 to 10.
So
So
he's
he's
already
still
done double.
Well, you got halfway to max.
Yeah, he does twice of what was required by the commissar, and as he finally collapses, you see Raygun brings the whip back again, and the commissar just sort of grabs his wrist and goes, "I think your
It's
sergeant
time to
has-
stop.
I believe the sergeant has had enough."
Ah,
And as he does it, he addresses the group and goes, "You've all bared witness, in accordance with the uniform codes of military justice. This punishment has been meted out with extra. Let no man doubt the courage, the tenacity, or the dedication of Sergeant Laszlo. May this be a lesson in resilience to you all, and a lesson to him to take better charge of his men." As he ties up the whip, he goes, "You're all dismissed. Get out of here. It's raining. You're going to get wet."
And then from the ground, you can hear Laszlo saying, "Don't lock your knees."
Yeah, I feel like somewhere in the back it's
Laszlo
just
just
it's just a, oh god, I love this. Just another day in the Corps.
everyone's
you see-
left and Laszlo's slowly getting up to like just one more.
You see a couple of the sergeants come up to you. Not as many as if you had gotten all 10, but they help you off the ground. They look at your back and they go, "You're probably gonna need that medic. I'll see if we can track her down."
Thank you.
Yeah, bring that cute
What,
blonde over here.
"You're a crazy son of a bitch. You know that, Laszlo?"
I've got to be a good example for my men. If I'm not a crazy son of
Yeah.
a bitch, then they're not going to survive.
Well, you won me over.
Yeah. Add for this, you get a free talent for the peer for the Imperial Guard. So basically, whenever you're not dealing with officers, you're gonna have a little bit of a bonus to your interactions with them. Socially.
Nice.
Not for command, although that would be nice. But yeah, as this gets settled in,
Also, your back is horribly infected.
yeah, it's not good. It's not good. But
I'll just rub some bread on it. It'll be fine.
yeah, take note
Get
of
some of
your
that lube.
take note of your injuries. They wipe some balm on it, but as you are getting ready to see the Medicae, you see Captain DeWare knocks on the doors, and he goes, Sergeant Laszlo, I just heard about this unfortunate situation. I've got some good news, since you seem so dedicated.
I could use some good news.
Well, the bad news is none of you are going to be getting dinner. Well, at least you won't be.
Given what I saw this earlier today, I don't think I want dinner.
Well, you won't be getting dinner in the DFAC, at least. The good news is, the rest of our platoon has been, well, horribly brutalized by the landing. So, while they are all kept on R&R, I was informed that for the most part, you had the foresight to have everybody buckle in. So, I volunteered your unit to serve as the forward observers in the trench lines.
Oh,
If you could... I'm sorry, you were saying?
It would be my honor to do such duty.
Well, hopefully you're not too tired from showing off in the parade grounds. I've selected one of the forward observation areas. It'll be up to you to hold that position, call for indirect fire support, and let the rest of the trench works know when the enemies are coming. We should be able to meet up with you in 1 week's time, at which point you'll fall back in with the rest of the platoon. Congratulations, Sergeant Laszlo. You're already starting to make a reputation as someone that we can rely on, someone that we can trust. You were the first name on my lips when I was asked to put someone up for such a dangerous assignment.
Yes, sir.
Keep this
Who
up.
do we want to die first?
Keep this up, and I'll recommend you to lead the van when it comes to taking back the trenches on the other side of no man's land. I mean, it's called the Forlorn Hope, but I have hope for you.
It's the perfect mission, sir.
And with that, you guys, you no longer have time for your Medicae. You just have your uniform in your hands and the rest of your kit for the rest of your squad. And you are able to find them back in the barracks.
Hey.
But yeah, everyone's back together. Would you like to inform them of...
Inform them that we're going to we're scouting the front line, basically, right?
No, we're
Yeah,
on watch duty. We have to
you are
watch.
working as forward observers.
Forward observers.
So
Okay.
your job is to 1, identify approaching enemies. 2, alert the rest of the trench works that there are approaching enemies. And 3, call for basically indirect fire supports. That'd be artillery, mortars, potentially grenades, but you wouldn't be doing that. And then 4, don't get dead. Those are your objectives.
I put those in reverse order.
You're a Krieger, damn it.
I'm also an Adeptus.
Fair enough. So, that is your assignment. You guys are ready to go, and I'll move you to the next map.
So when Laszlo comes in and tells us that, I'm like scrubbing my pants, and he's like, "All right, we got a mission." I'm like, "Oh boy, I'll make you sandwiches," and I just go straight from scrubbing the shit off of my pants to making everyone sandwiches.
Now wait, you were wearing underwear when you shit your pants, right? So are you
Hopefully.
just like naked from the bottom down? You've scrubbed your underwear and now you're scrubbing your pants?
I think he's just wearing shitty pants.
Well, no, he's
Yeah, I'm
scrubbing his
just-
pants. He said. So I'm asking, are you just wearing shitty
Oh,
underwear or?
Now that you say it like that, yeah, I guess I'm just butt naked, like scrubbing my
Well,
pants.
I mean, you could be wearing a shirt. I'm just saying.
I might have got some on my shirt. You never know.
I mean,
Might
and
have
the
like
fact that
crept up
it's
like when you wear a diaper.
the fact that Raygun and Laszlo were together means that they have to walk in, and I have to be sitting somewhere in a room with you, who's half naked, scrubbing shit off his pants. Like this is normal. Like I've
That's
just
okay.
accepted
Maybe
the
there's a
situation.
toaster.
You don't have to watch. I mean, you just turn around.
I'm not gonna face the wall while you scrub shit
Oh,
out of your
jeez.
pants. No, I think it's. I think we're in the situation where this is weird, but this is a weird I have to watch.
Yeah, you see Private
like giving me pointed. Oh, you missed a spot over there.
You know, you're just rubbing the shit in, right? That's like permanently brown now. You'd be better served trying to make the rest of your outfit brown.
Oh man.
I mean, in that way, if you shit yourself again, who's to know, right?
And just put laxatives in the sloppy joes. Have everybody shit their pants.
Well, thank God I'm not eating a sloppy joes.
Oh man, if he ate that extra lubricant, he'd just be able to do yoga as a tech priest. It's fine.
Well, I mean, I'm probably just eating like those cement hard bar food things. They're supposed to last you months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. You actually, as you are checking your pack, you are handed rations, like a week's worth of rations. And what you find out, they look like little, almost like Hershey bars, right? But super thick. You get about 4 of them, and it's like, yeah. All you have to do is break this in half and eat it. It comes in 3 different sections. So, yeah, 1 for each meal.
Yeah, you take a bite a day.
Just be sure you drink water with it, because
Yeah.
if you don't, you might die of constipation.
Well, I mean, I've seen the people in this company. I'm not gonna mess with
Wait.
anything that they make or do or say.
Wait, if you just put that raw into the sloppy joe, it'll cancel each other out.
There you go. You may have figured it out, man. This is how you're gonna get it done.
You put all 4 of your rations in the sloppy joe.
Oh yeah. So
And that sloppy
you
joe
guys
is
have
gonna
your
be
rations. You
how
have
we
all
defeat
your
the
other
orcs.
stuff.
Mhm.
You guys get to the trench lines, and as you get there, as you're going into the trenches, they've been designed not exactly like a maze, but they're zigzagged. And as you're approaching, you see that there are 2 squadrons of Sentinel Walkers, basically kept in reserve. And as you're going, you're actually passing by a number of the planetary defense forces that are being pulled off the front lines.
Mhm.
And as you're looking at them, you guys just see you're just passing by, and most of them aren't even looking at you. They're staring at their feet. They're just sort of hunched over and slogging through the mud. Most of them are completely filthy, just covered in mud, covered in dirt. Some of them have bandaged arms. A few of them have completely bandaged faces. So bandaged, in fact, that they can't even have their gas masks on, which seems ridiculous to a lot of you. Some of them are being carried out in stretchers or lean-tos. And as you pass by, I'm going to roll a d4 to see who gets it.
Bet it's Laszlo.
Someone gets
Well-
shot.
Well, 1 is Laszlo, 2 is Tabor, 3 is Raygun, and 4 is Alexander.
You mean Jort?
Sorry, Jort, yeah. Alright, so this may not even be able to apply to you, but the tech priest, as you guys are passing by each other, you're categorizing all the wounds, all the damage to their gear, and for a brief moment you lock eyes with one of the younger members of this planetary defense force, sort of like a military unit, and it strikes you for a minute because they're completely empty. You lock eyes and it's almost as though they're looking straight past you. There's no expression on their face. There's no change in their retina or their iris. Everything is just completely dead. And you've seen this look in servitors, but you've never seen it in a person. And as you pass for a brief moment, you get this pang of humanity, almost empathy.
I mean,
Roll me a willpower save.
did I not see it in Private? Shit, what was his name? Devros? Denigan?
Dietrich?
Dietrich, yeah.
No, this is something different.
Willpower, you said?
Willpower save, my friend.
Is that just the characteristic?
Yes, that would be. So there's no real skill for this sort of defense, sort of like toughness. It's just a straight up willpower save. So you
Yeah.
just roll a willpower.
I don't think I have any modifiers or anything.
Negative.
But the Adeptus Mechanicus did not teach us to fail!
Yeah, for a brief moment.
I literally am followed by a guy who gives me the same eyes every fucking day. What do I care
For a
about you? You're just a walking machine made of organics. Get the fuck out of here. This is
Briefly,
a war zone, friend. What'd you think was coming?
any sense of empathy you have, like you feel it for a second, and then your mechanical brain switches over as you realize, oh, he's basically a perfect candidate for servitor.
Yeah, the cerebral implant turns that shit off.
Now, if anything, this would be a benefit. You might be
Yeah.
doing him a favor. He'd probably want to be a servitor. You take note of his name tag
Yeah.
and carry on.
Report that number back. Get that man off the lines. We need to get him prepped for surgery.
Oh yeah. You
He'd
guys
have
make
a
your way.
flame in his mouth.
We could put all sorts of things
That'll
in
make
his
him
mouth.
happy.
HDMI ports, Medicaid utensils. Who knows? You guys are marched past the additional mortar pits, past the ammo, past the command and control center, and you make your way all the way to the front line, where you are set to relieve the current forward observation area. You're getting the easternmost observation tent. You got another guy doing the other side. So, if you guys would be so kind to drop your tokens. Oh, you already found it. Nice.
Yup.
Also, there is a really excellent place to make Warhammer 40k tokens, which I will drop in the Discord for next session. But effectively, you can make basically whatever you'd like.
Sweet.
Yeah, they're fantastic. I just found out about it, and it has saved me so much money on Roll20, where now I can just make the tokens for myself.
I kind of cheated. I went BattleTech with my
Yeah,
token. Well, because the guy from BattleTech Jihad is kind of all fully mechanicaled up too, and he's super crazy and in a war zone. And it's like, yeah, that's me.
There's never been a more perfect character trait or character emblem.
Well, because the background of that one is literally nukes falling from the sky all around him. Because he's literally gone crazy and he's nuking the worlds.
And now we just need our sergeant.
Ark, do you have a token by chance?
Yeah, where are we?
Oh, very top
All the
of
way
the
at
map.
the top right.
Far left. Oh yeah. Well, it's right. You're right. Also, this is best
If you
situated
like
in
shift
40%.
click, it drags everybody there.
Shift click like that. That do it?
No.
Oh, you have to like hold shift and then click.
Yeah, you have to like do the circle ping like that. There you go. That did.
Circle ping shift. Got it. Oh, that is an awesome background. All right.
Damn, he crazy.
Yeah, it's the final years of the Word of Blake period of BattleTech. It's great.
So for your first night, as you guys get up there, you realize that they have a built-in Auspex situated right back here, which grants a plus 20 bonus to perception checks. But effectively, as you come out into this forward area, you realize that surrounded by concertina wire and razor wire, there's just a vast expanse, maybe 300 meters long between you and what appears to be the orc-occupied trench lines. You didn't know orcs made trenches, and they look remarkably similar to your own trench line, only from the back. But as you're staring at it, you can see different silhouettes off in the distance. And occasionally, a rocket will just come flying by and just fall short as the rocket motor burns out and just skips across the ground in no man's land. But as you guys settle down, let's see here. Alexander, roll me 1d5. Let's see what this first little instance is as we get ready to wrap it up.
4.
4, fantastic. The first night that you guys are out there, you guys settle in. Even here, there's no real canopy or break in the trenches. But as you look out through the little windows made in the sandbags, you can actually see off in the distance these giant plumes and gouts of fire. Like at this range, it'd be hard to calculate, but with your little brain, your little mechanical calculator brain, as you see the plume of flame and smoke, you can say, like, oh, okay, that's like a 5-foot gout of flame. That's interesting. And then you realize as you see a dozen of these lighting up across the trench works, you can just see the flame, the flash of light, a bit of smoke, and you calculate, oh yeah, in like 3 seconds we should hear the shell.
Oh,
And sure enough,
that's not what I was about to guess. Okay, it's better though.
yeah.
Never hear
As they
the
all
end,
come.
I get time to take cover.
Well, I was ready for some sort of hot rod machine to come flying over. The...
Yeah!
Powered by belief.
Powered by my faith in the wah! But yeah, as the shells streak in, just so you know, there are numbers for different sections of trench. 3, 4, 6.
Boy, let's see who blows up.
Right. So, just so you know, there are 20 sections. Let me make sure I did this right. Okay, that makes sense. I gotta zoom out. Ha! Alright, so 9,
So who did my completely unrelated number kill?
13.
It's your fault. Your fault.
Yes, it's yours fault, the hunter from the future.
Alright, so, for the record, your number is 4. I'm rolling a d20 to see what area gets hit. Actually, I'm rolling 6d20.
And what number are we in?
You are number 4.
Oh, we are number 4.
Yes, all of you are number 4.
So, let's see it.
So we have a 17, a 9, a 7, an 8, a 16, and a 15. As all these things just streak in, just one after the other, just slamming into this area. You notice that most of them end up hitting these just open areas that are completely unexposed. And as the shell impacts, they hit the ground, they detonate, and you can actually see a couple are just rockets that are launched. And as they come streaking across the sky, you realize that there's no fins on them to stabilize. So they're just sort of spiraling with their rocket motor, blowing them back and forth, almost like a sidewinder across the entire area. Most of them just slam into the ground, and they don't even detonate. They just shatter the area in bits of wreckage. However...
Yeah, it's orc artillery for you.
Yeah, however, you do hear some shouts as artillery strikes manage to land into the trench works off to the back. And you do see some of the Sentinel crews are starting to like bring the legs down as they are showered with shrapnel and explosive devices. You're not entirely sure how many people died, but you know there's some. And then it happens again and again as you are bombarded consistently, and you can hear off in the distance thunder as additional artillery answers back towards the orcs, and you just watch from your outpost as explosions basically light up the night sky as all the light and the fire reflects off the clouds.
The thing to do is to, you know, get on the radio and report the quadrant that the fire is coming from. Because that's, as I understand it, our job. So
that is your job. So with your Auspex, you can try and track down. It depends on how you want to see it. Because for the most part, you see the trench lines and you can see the flash from where they're going off. But I'm going to allow you to use a tech use to utilize the Auspex to get a better read on where the orc guns actually are.
Alright, and with the combi tool. Yeah, that's what's called.
Yep.
Combi tool.
Also, add another +10 because you can just plug directly into this Auspex with your Mind Impulse unit.
Got it.
Woof. Yeah, even with the extra penalties.
Does not teach us to fail.
So you get in here and you actually calculate the density of the cloud line and then the strength of the light refracting from it. And you're like, okay, so that would be the average distance. And then with the sound in between, you're like, yeah, I saw the light. I heard the sound. This one, this one. You know, as you're doing the calculations, you're plugging into the Auspex. And everyone, you just watch as he's typing with 2 hands, and then also his ballistic mechadendrite is just randomly touching the buttons, just tink, tink, tink. And as he gets in here, you get up the coordinates for one of the guns. Sure enough, you report that in, and like 20 minutes later, doof, 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 doof. And it takes a while. The first few salvos don't actually strike it, but as they pound that area, eventually you guys are rewarded with the sound of this massive explosion, and then followed up by a series of smaller explosions as everything starts to kick up. All the extra ammunition cooks off from the explosive area. As you sit back and watch, feeling that it's been a decent day, see, Commander Sergeant Laszlo, roll me 1d5.
Oh boy.
Don't roll another 4.
Yeah, just artillery barrage for days.
Perfect. So, with your 1, as you guys are standing out here, looking out across the field, you hear this, ah, ah, and off in the distance starts to echo as you see just this wave of green start coming out over the trenches. And you watch as hundreds and hundreds of these tiny little green creatures come sprinting towards you. And as you look at your uplifting primer and you see the picture of the orc, 3 feet, 4 feet tall, covered in rags, primitive weapons and knives, you look out and sure enough, you see these 3-foot tall creatures storming across the ground towards you with this high-pitched wah!
Not the goblins.
And that is where we're going to call it.
All right.
So, thank you all for playing. I'm actually surprised that we got to get some gameplay. Normally, character creation takes forever. You guys were very good at that. So, congratulations.
Thanks for hosting.
Yeah, anytime. Well, not anytime. Specifically this time, 6 to 10.
Exactly.
Weekly. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Oh yeah, and drop the links. Also, these maps I didn't do. Just full disclosure, my buddy Dan made all of them, and he's fantastic.
Thanks,
So,
Dan.
Shout out to Dan. He is a fantastic little cartographer.
Mhm.
But yeah, if you guys have any questions, I'll be on for a little while. But thank you all so much for making it out.
All right. Thanks again for running, and thanks everyone for being here for playing.
Yeah,
Do you want us all to make our tokens from that website that you posted, or
You don't have to. It works out pretty well because it's easy to size it up with all the other tokens. But if you would prefer to have your own token, you can keep it. I know who you are.
You're the DM, so whatever you want.
I just run the game. It's up to you guys to make sure it's something you're into. So if you guys want to make your own tokens, that's fine. Really, all I need is to know who's who, and what you have is already good enough for that.
Cool.
All right, then. I guess let's
So,
go
yeah.
ahead and sign out. Thanks again, everyone, for being here, and we'll catch you next time.